Former President Trump says he is not fazed by what is happening on the other side of the aisle, telling Fox News no matter who Democrats pick to be the nominee, he'll be ready.
So they're going to cook up something at the convention. They might throw Gretchen Whitmer at you. They might throw Gavin Newsom at you. They might throw Michelle Obama at you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about any of them. Look, they have bad policies. Forget about the people. They have an open border policy. They have a high tax policy. They have a bad military policy. The whole world is going woke. Their world is going woke. The Green New Scam, we're spending all our money on things that don't work. The whole thing is a mess. Our country, if we don't win this election, we may never have another election. I'm telling you, this may be our last election.
Joining me now, for the Republican response to Harris's new campaign, Mike Huckabee, the former governor of Arkansas and former presidential candidate. Sir, I've got my fingers crossed because you and I don't have a great track record technically. I think we've lost you the last couple of times. Let's get through this. It's great to have you on. Thanks for coming here this morning. Kamala Harris, her message now is, I'm a tough prosecutor, I've been tough on crime, and now I'm facing off against a convicted felon. How will Republicans combat that? What will Donald Trump's response be?
I think Donald Trump's response that you just played was exactly the right one. Focus on the policy, not the personality. Because a lot of Americans, are looking at this race. They're not as interested in Donald Trump's personality or Kamala Harris's personality. What they want to know is what policies will affect my family. And that's when we really, really can show the contrast. How are gasoline prices under Trump versus Biden-Harris? What about the border? What kind of borders has she been? Because that's been her job. She only went down there one time, briefly to El Paso. When she talks about being tough on crime, she was tough on marijuana users and then went on television and laughed about whether or not she had used marijuana. She's got a lot to answer for, but not so much for her personality as it is for the policies that she has embraced, not just since vice president, but the policy she embraced as a senator, the policy she embraced as an attorney general in California.
And she'll be considered the progressive on the ticket. Does it matter who she chooses as a vice presidential running mate?
Yes and no. It matters in the sense that it'll give the Democrats either a reason to celebrate and be excited and to say, gee, that's great, which they will do anyway, or for some of them to scratch their heads and say, why this person? And that person is going to need to be able to be an effective debater because they're going to be going up against J.D. Vance, and he's about as good as one gets when it comes to a one-on-one repartee with anybody under any circumstances. So maybe that's the criteria that they have to select. I have a feeling they will be looking for someone who brings whatever balance they think they need to the ticket. But, I don't think it's ultimately the decision people make. Oh, I like that person for vice president, because they're electing a president, not a vice president.
Comes down to these swing states, right? I mean, they're going to be so critical. Kamala Harris will be in Wisconsin. We know former President Trump was recently in Michigan, J.D. Vance in Ohio. I mean, an election, most say, will be won in the margins. And even with Kamala Harris, some of the polling shows it close, neck and neck, about 2 percentage points or so in some states like Wisconsin. What's the Trump strategy for those independent voters still out there?
What he's been doing is exactly the right thing, focusing on what most of us would call the kitchen table issues, the cost of bacon, bread, butter, and milk, the cost of heating and cooling your home, whether or not the country is being run efficiently, whether or not illegals are pouring into the border and making a mess of major cities and even small towns, and also bringing fentanyl into the country that's killing 100,000 people a year and killing people. I don't care what their socioeconomic position is. It's killing rich people, poor people, and people in the middle. Everybody understands that. I think that's the key for the Republicans, is to focus more on the impact of policy, how it's affected Americans, and whether or not they want 4 more years of what they've just been dealing with.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.